We'll start with this controversy over a decision made by the Edwardsville School Board in Illinois. And I want to play you the local news report so that you can go on the same journey that I went on when I first watched this this morning. And because the idea that you'll hear about, it starts out bad and then it gets worse as they continue to explain it. Let's watch.
Fiery debate over gender-neutral bathrooms tonight. Millions of dollars on the line in Edwardsville as the school board votes to pass the proposal for Edwardsville High. Fox News' Max Deetnight was at the meeting, which just wrapped up at Liberty Middle School.
A passionate debate over millions of dollars going toward building new gender-neutral bathrooms at Edwardsville High School. Some parents and others upset over this idea.
Who watches the watchers?
But using our tax money that I earned, to do something I oppose is just so wrong. Shouldn't even be a consideration. It's wasting the public's time. Thank you.
But others, including a current transgender student, argue the opposition is fear-mongering and that these bathrooms are safe.
From my experience as a transgender man, I rarely have ever felt safe in a public restroom.
This is an excellent opportunity to validate them as they are, to make education a safe space for them. I commend the board on moving forward with this. I encourage you to do so, and I thank you for your time.
Take a look at your screen. These are renderings of the common area bathrooms boys and girls would share at Edwardsville High, featuring private, fully enclosed stalls for each student. There's a light above each room indicating whether the stall is locked and already in use. District officials say the hand washing stations would be in the center for everyone to use, visible from the lobby and supervised during the busiest parts of the day. Still, some parents fear having teenage boys and girls in the same space like this is a bad idea. Monday night, the board voted to pass.
So they passed it. So gender-neutral bathrooms are the proposal, not just the proposal. It's been approved. And we've obviously seen the gender-neutral bathroom idea put forward many times in many school districts as a way of solving the trans student dilemma. And I've always been opposed to gender-neutral bathrooms for the simple reason that there actually is no dilemma. It's a solution to a problem that we have invented, and the way to solve it is to just stop inventing the problem. The old system worked perfectly well. There was no problem. There was no issue. Everything was fine. Boys use the boys' room, girls use the girls' room. It's not a problem. It's fine. This has been the system in public schools for as long as public schools have existed. If something has been done for decades, for centuries, and it's worked fine, and then you're coming along and say, we should radically change this, then the burden of proof is on you to explain, what was the issue? Why is there a problem now if there never has been before? If people have been doing a certain thing forever and it's been fine, and then you come along and you've got a problem with it, then it would seem like the issue is you. The problem is you. If everyone else can do it and they're fine and you have a problem, the problem is you. So that's the issue. It's just that, 15 seconds ago, we decided to start pretending that there is a problem. And in pretending that there's a problem, one was created. But again, it can be solved by simply not pretending that it's a problem anymore. And just tell the boys to go with the boys, girls with the girls, males with males, females with females. That's it. That's all. We don't need gender-neutral bathrooms. The gendered bathrooms are an absolutely perfect system. I mean, as perfect as a bathroom system can be. There's no issue. But here's the thing. I opposed gender-neutral bathrooms, even though I assumed naively, optimistically, foolishly, it turns out, that the gender-neutral rooms would be single bathrooms. I thought that's what we were talking about. A single bathroom with a single toilet, similar to one that you might see in a coffee shop or something like that, where there's just one bathroom and it's one person uses it at a time, and it's not labeled for any particular for male or female because only one person is using it at a time. The bathrooms in your home are, quote, gender neutral in that way. One person uses them at a time, and so there's no reason to designate male or female. And in those contexts, like at a small little coffee shop or at your home in a context where only one person is using the bathroom at a time, it makes sense. I mean, you don't even call them gender neutral. It's just the bathroom. But still, I opposed doing that in schools because I don't think we need to go out of our way to build bathrooms like that in schools in order to get around this imaginary issue that we've created. Do you owe back taxes or still have unfiled returns? Not only is owing back taxes stressful, but the IRS has also become more determined than ever. The IRS's chief data and analytics officer revealed that they're focused on an enforcement project with an average return on investment of about $6 for every $1 spent. They're targeting individuals and businesses that currently owe back taxes or haven't filed their returns first. Tax Network USA, the nation's leading tax relief firm, knows the tax code and will fight for you with a record of negotiating over $1 billion in tax relief for their clients. Their team is knowledgeable in handling any type of tax issue. Whether you owe $10,000 or $10 million, they can help. Even if you don't have all your personal or business records from over the years, they can get you filed up to date. Facing the IRS without a professional is not a smart move. Contact Tax Network USA for the best strategic advice to help reduce or even eliminate your tax debt. Call today at 1-800-245-6000 or visit their website at tnusa.com/Walsh. They'll give you a free private consultation on how you can settle your tax debt. That's tnusa.com/Walsh. But silly me, I didn't realize that we were talking about an actual communal bathroom with multiple stalls for multiple people where girls and boys will be invited to use it at the same time. And that apparently is what we're talking about. Not just talking about, but it's what they're going to do. Where teenagers in high school will be invited to use the bathroom with the opposite sex. Like, whenever you think the public school system could not possibly get, like, when you think that it's gotten as mind-bogglingly, I think that might be a word. Anyway, when it's gotten as stupid as it possibly can get, it somehow proves that you're wrong. It can get even dumber because this is such a bad idea. I mean, it's such a bad idea that it doesn't even, we'll get to this in a second, but it doesn't even solve the fake problem they've invented. It doesn't solve any real problem because there is no real problem, but even the fake problem is not solved by this. So let's just outline all the reasons why this is the dumbest thing ever conceived. The first and most obvious, of course, is that you're putting hormonal teenagers of both sexes into a bathroom together, and obviously that is going to lead to all the things that I don't need to describe because we were all teenagers at one time, and we know, and many of us went to public high schools, and so you know how it's going to go. And it sounds like that's what some of the parents brought up in the meeting, that's a bad idea. Why would we do that? Why would we do that? That's the stupidest thing. You're just asking for all kinds of problems when you do that. But that's only the first problem. So it's probably the biggest, but it's only the first. Second problem is that the students who don't welcome the opportunity that is afforded to them by having both sexes use the same bathroom, those students will be instead extremely uncomfortable. So if public restrooms, especially in school, are already kind of awkward just because of the nature of what the facilities are there for, now you've just made them 100 times more awkward. And did I hear correct that, I think I did, that the communal sinks will be visible from the lobby and there's going to be adults in the bathroom, like supervising? When the kids are going into the stall, there's going to be adults standing there watching? Did I get that right? You can see it from the lobby? So you have found a way, somehow, against all odds, to give these teenagers both more privacy than they should have at school, in the sense that you're putting boys and girls together in an inappropriate setting, and also not nearly enough privacy at the exact same time. So it's a terrible idea for opposite reasons at the same time. That's how bad it is. And third, and this is the big thing here, as alluded to, it doesn't even solve the imaginary problem that it's supposed to solve. There's no real problem being solved because there was no real problem to begin with. Boys with boys, girls with girls in the bathroom, it was fine. It was fine. But even the fake problem isn't being solved, because the whole point for the boy who identifies as a girl or for the girl who identifies as a boy, the whole reason that they want access to the opposite sex restroom, well, the most innocent possible reason that they could want access is to be affirmed, right, as the opposite sex. And that's really what this is all about. But you aren't affirming them by doing this. Like, this doesn't affirm anybody. This is the whole again, I say the whole reason, there are other reasons, but sort of taking them at their word. The reason why you have a male who wants to use the female restroom, taking him at his word on this, is that, which we shouldn't, but just for the sake of argument, is that it's an affirmative validating, because okay, now I'm being accepted as a woman, and that's what this is all about. But doesn't validate, it doesn't affirm, it doesn't, you're not being accepted as a woman. Just everyone's being thrown into the same environment now. This doesn't even do the bad thing it's supposed to do, which is the whole reason they're doing it. Which means either that the pro-trans side will hate this. I know we heard from a few there in the clip that said that they're in favor of it, but generally, the pro-trans side will either hate this, and historically, recent history anyway, they have opposed this kind of compromise. For the reason I just said, because what they want is to be accepted and affirmed as the opposite sex. They don't want, if you come out and you do gender-neutral bathrooms, that doesn't work for them. So either they're going to hate it, which means that you're doing all this for them and they don't even like it. Or if they are okay with it, as they seem to be here, I guess, well, that means that they've dropped the whole affirmation thing from the bathroom debate, which means we can just go back to the old system. So either way, the old system is the only one that makes sense. And instead, they are, in an effort to solve a fake problem, they are doing something that will create all kinds of new problems while solving precisely nothing. In conclusion, get your kids the hell out of public schools. I don't know if I've mentioned that before. I don't know if you realize that that's my stance. I may have mentioned it a time or two. Don't send your kids into this environment. Just don't do it. You honest to God, I've said before, you would be better, and I don't even mean it as a joke. You would be better off sending your kids off into the woods to be raised by wolves than you would sending them to public school. Because they go to public school, they're being raised by the public school system, whether you like it or not. That's what happens. That's why public school exists, to raise your kids, so the government can raise your kids. So rather than having these lunatics raise your kid, honestly, it would be better for your kid if you just said, okay, drop them off in the Amazon rainforest, and I'll pick you up in 10 years. In fact, that'd be much better for them than the public school environment. Probably safer too, actually. At least they'll come out of it with like some skills that they'll have learned. Hey YouTube, thanks for listening to the show. If you'd like access to my full show with no ads, you should go to dailywire.com and use promo code Walsh to get 2 months free on all annual plans. See you there.